In the dim glow of a laboratory corridor, a quiet hum echoes through the air. A sound most people will never hear, yet it may shape their future in ways they cannot imagine. Somewhere behind those sealed glass doors, a team of scientists is working on a microscopic breakthrough, one so small it can fit on the head of a needle, yet powerful enough to alter the fate of millions. And just like that, an unknown biotech penny is stock ignored, overlooked. Pagota stands on the edge of rewriting the rules of modern medicine, and perhaps making early believers unimaginably wealthy. Most people never notice these moments. They scroll past the headlines, never realizing the next big medical revolution often begins in silence. But every great financial opportunity, every breakthrough, every fortune ever made in biotech starts with a simple, hidden truth. The world of medicine changes slowly, until suddenly it changes all at once. To understand why this tiny company matters, we must travel back, not decades, but centuries back, to a time when human beings were helpless against even the smallest of threats. A cut on the hand could mean death. A cough could destroy families. A fever could wipe out entire towns. Disease was not just a challenge, it was a tyrant. And for the longest time, humanity had no voice to fight back. But then everything changed with a series of events, so strange, so accidental and so misunderstood at the time that even the people who witnessed them had no idea they were watching history unfold. It began with discoveries that came from mold, soil, and even failed experiments. The early pioneers Swami, Pasteur, Koch were not visionaries seeking fame. They were scientists stumbling through the unknown, trying to make sense of what they found. And every discovery they made unlocked a new doorway into the invisible world inside the human body. That invisible world is the world biotech companies now try to control. The modern era of biotechnology was born from a simple idea that the smallest organisms could solve the biggest problems. Bacteria that could create medicine. Cells that could heal themselves. Genes that could be rewritten as if life itself was editable. This idea changed medicine, changed science, changed the economies, and built billion-dollar companies from inventions most people couldn't even pronounce. But something unusual has happened in recent years. The world of biotech is no longer driven only by the giants. Today, the most groundbreaking ideas often come from tiny firms, the kind with fewer than 50 employees, the kind working out of compact labs in hidden industrial parks, the kind whose entire future depends on a single discovery. And that brings us to the company at the center of this story. A low-priced biotech penny stock that almost no one has heard of. Yet it is working on a technology that even the giants are watching very closely. A technology involving a new method of cellular repair more precise than CRISPR, more adaptable than mRNA, and more scalable than traditional gene therapy. For years, the scientific community believed certain types of cellular damage were irreversible. Once the cells were broken, that was the end of the story. But this company's research says otherwise. It began with an unexpected observation during a routine trial. A damaged cell that should have died didn't. Instead, it repaired itself fast, cleanly, and in a way that no experiment had ever documented. For months, the team dismissed the results as errors, bad readings, faulty equipment, but the data kept repeating. The impossible kept appearing. And so they followed the anomaly into a discovery that now has the potential to shake the biotech world. The mechanism they found targets disease at its earliest stage before symptoms appear, before organs fail, before cells collapse. It's not a cure after the damage is done, but a prevention before catastrophe strikes. If this technology works at scale, it could completely rewrite how we treat aging, cancer, chronic diseases, and cellular decay. It wouldn't offer temporary fixes. It would strengthen the body's natural repair system. Essentially, it's a biological reboot button. Now, I want to be clear, this is still a high-risk, early-stage company. The journey from a lab discovery to a market-leading treatment is long and filled with challenges. But the potential here is what sets it apart. While the big pharmaceutical companies spend billions on incremental improvements, this small team might just have found a shortcut to the future of medicine. Imagine a world where your body's defenses are so strong that diseases never get a foothold. That's the promise they're working towards. This isn't just about another drug. It's about a new philosophy of health. And for investors who understand the stakes, this is the kind of opportunity that rarely comes along. It's a chance to get in on the ground floor of a revolution, a chance to back a vision that could change everything. This is where mystery shifts into momentum. It's the moment a breakthrough finally starts to attract real attention. Because when a new technology reaches this stage, money always follows. First come the private investors, the silent ones, the people who make calls behind closed doors. Then you start seeing the research grants, the strategic partnerships. The whispers begin, followed by the rumors. And soon, analysts begin digging deeper into a stock that once traded for pennies. A stock that had no headlines, no hype, no spotlight. Now, something else begins to happen. Stability turns into volatility. What was once a small, almost invisible movement on the chart starts forming a real pattern. Trading volume spikes. Online forums and social media ignite with speculation. And suddenly, people who had never even heard of the company start asking questions. They want to know what's going on. But behind the scenes, the true turning point is something far more serious. For a biotech stock, a single clinical trial, phase 1, phase 2, or sometimes even just preliminary lab results can make or destroy its entire future. The reality is, most small companies never even make it to human trials. Many of them collapse under the immense weight of scientific complexity, strict regulatory pressure, or a simple lack of funding. And yet, this company pushed forward. Against all odds, every test so far shows promise. It's not perfection, not a guarantee of success, but just enough promise to keep hope alive and enough mystery to make the story absolutely irresistible. Now the tension really begins to build. Investors are watching every single announcement with surgical precision. Scientists are double-checking and triple-checking every line of data. Competitors are frantically trying to replicate the findings, but they keep falling short. And somewhere in the middle of this perfect storm, the stock price begins to show real signs of life. It starts climbing. But this story isn't just about one company or one stock. It's about something much larger, the psychology of discovery. As humans, we are fundamentally drawn toward the unknown. We want to believe in breakthroughs, in miracles, in second chances, and the world of biotech more than any other field feeds that deep-seated desire. Every new therapy represents a new hope. Every new clinical trial represents a new possibility. And every breakthrough carries with it the quiet promise that life could get better, longer, stronger for all of us. Yet, with every potential rise comes significant risk. A single failed study can send the stock plummeting to zero overnight. A regulatory delay can freeze all momentum. A competitor's surprise announcement can instantly shift investor confidence. In biotech, the line between massive, world-changing success and catastrophic collapse is it's a high-stakes game. But that is exactly why early investors watch companies like this so closely. Because every now and then, a tiny overlooked biotech firm starting from absolutely nothing, ignored by almost everyone, achieves the unthinkable. And when that happens, fortunes are made in silence, long before the rest of the world even realizes what has just changed. The story of this particular penny stock is still being written. The trials are continuing. The technology is advancing, the scientists are refining their methods, working late into the night. The market is watching, waiting, and nobody knows exactly when the official breakthrough will be announced. But when it is, the world will not be the same. In the quiet shadows of a small, unassuming laboratory, a new chapter of medical history is unfolding slowly, mysteriously, and out of sight. And perhaps Just perhaps, the people who recognized its potential before the world caught on will be remembered as the ones who saw the future first. Because every revolution begins with a whisper, and sometimes that whisper turns into a fortune. Thanks for watching. If you found this interesting, make sure to subscribe for more stories like this.